Hey friends, welcome to another video. Today's video, we are going to share with you one of our camping trip weekends. We have our new rooftop tent, which is so amazing. We're going to show all the food that we took and ate and how we prepared making those delicious wraps. We also went and visited some friends and shared some wraps with them. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about what we take and where we go, stay tuned for this video. We want to bring some of our microgreens with us on this camping trip because we're going to be gone for 4 nights and we don't want to leave them here all by themselves without someone to water them. So we're going to take them with us and we're going to show you where we put them in our truck when we do. We like to take them with us because we can eat them while we are on the road, and we can even start some new ones before we leave so we can take them out of germination when we get home. So these are the microgreens that we're going to be taking with us. And the night before, we made a huge amount of wraps. If you need a dehydrator to get these wraps, check out the links in the description box below. We use model 3926TB Excalibur. It's a 9 tray and tried and true. They are so amazing. So go check out the link in the description box below. Here are our wraps. They're nice and pliable. Again, we made them the night before, so they are ready this morning. We have so many. We actually have another batch that we made the day before this. So we have a whole bunch of wraps because we're sharing them with friends. Now, for travel, this is how we like to store them. So we don't want to take the sheets with us because they can get a little bit heavy, especially when you have a lot of them. So we use these pieces of parchment paper that we've been reusing over and over and over and over and over again. And we have this big 3.5 gallon sized Ziploc bag. It's about 16 by 18 inches. And we leave it unsealed. It's very important not to seal the bags because we don't want to seal any moisture in there, especially when you are camping or traveling. It can get hot in the back of the truck, so we don't want any extra condensation to happen there. So what we do is we take a piece of parchment, we gently peel the wraps off of the dehydrator tray and make sure that they are fully dry. You don't want them to still be a little bit wet because, again, you're taking them off the tray and we're going to be putting them in the bag. So any extra moisture can make them soggy. So just keep going and peel that beautiful wrap off the tray and place it on the parchment. If you're looking for the trays, you can also head on down to the description box below. I have a link to the trays, a link to the dehydrator, and of course, a link to the recipe ebook where we show you how to make these delicious wraps. They are plant-based, they're gluten-free, they're oil-free. They're made basically with dehydrated fruits and vegetables. We just blend them up and pour them into the tray. And there we go. We dehydrate them for about 12 hours and then they are ready to go. So this is basically how we do it. We just use that piece of parchment and then we place the wrap on top and we just keep going. We can fit about, I don't know, maybe like 10 to 12 wraps in a bag. The link for the bags is also in the description box below. We like to make extra wraps when we are planning a travel time because we never know who we're going to hang out with or how many wraps we're going to want to share with others. And another thing that we really like too is when we get home from a long trip, sometimes it's nice to have a couple extra wraps that we bring home with us. That way, the next day when we are going grocery shopping or putting away all our other stuff, we have an easy lunch the next day. So here we go. Once all of those are together in a nice big pile, as you can see, they're all here ready to go into the bag. We also make sure to take enough of the deli papers so that we can roll up our wraps while we are at camp, and we can roll extra ones so we can save those in our cooler for other drives or the next day or whatever we decide to do, or even giving them to our friends too. So once those are all ready to go, we grab the end and just like a pillowcase kinda, we just stuff those into our bag. Always remember to not seal your bag, just to keep that moisture under control, but these are ready to go for our camping trip. Next up, we want to make sure that we have enough sauces for our trip. So we blended up some Divine Lime, some buffalo sauce. We had a few other ones as well. And we made some wraps. Yes, of course. We saved some of the wraps. We didn't put them in the bags and we rolled them up for our drive. We needed lunch for the drive and we wanted lunch for the next day, so we got those ready. Another thing that we did on this day, which we had to do before we left, was we did a class in our Raw Food Romance community. So we filmed that class. It was so much fun. This was a raw vegan sushi class where we made 4 different types of sushi and 4 different types of sauces. You are more than welcome to watch the replay of this if you join the community. The community link is in the description box below. It's $47 a month and you get access to our live classes, our class replays, the monthly challenges, the group community, and all of that good stuff. We have so much fun in the community. We hope that you can join and enjoy all the stuff that we have in there. We have lots of recipes in there as well. So that is what we did before we left for our camping trip. We had to make sure that we got that done. The sauces were so delicious and we didn't have enough time to finish up all our sushi. So we packed it up and took it with us camping. So we did eat some of it. We had the wrap obviously for our drive, but then we wanted to have this for dinner when we got to camp. So like I said, we did eat a little bit of this, but then we had the rest when we got to camp, which I'll show you in a little bit here. These are all new recipes. This is a coconut bloomed black rice sushi roll. We have the cauliflower spicy mango rolls. These are my absolute new favorites. These are like a dark California roll. And these recipes will be going in a new ebook coming in 2025. But if you want the recipes early, you want them now, you can join the community because they are in the community and they are part of that class that we did. We did the sauces too. These were so delicious. This is a carrot one with marinated mushrooms. It's kind of like a teriyaki mushroom sushi. We have more here. So delicious. This was really fun. It did take a little bit extra time to do because I think this class was about 3 hours long. So it was fun. We taught a lot of really cool tips and tricks and ideas for everybody in there. And we hope that you can enjoy as well if you join the community. Here is the cauliflower spicy mango rolls. We also taught a really cool trick using 2 sheets of nori and a little bit of water. So that little trick is in that class as well. We are really, really excited to start working on more of these recipes for 2025. There's going to be so many delicious things for you coming soon. But let's get back to our camping video here. We use the Debbie Myers green boxes to store our sushi. These ones are cool because they're just high enough to fit 2 layers of our sushi. So we just packed all of that up and excited for our dinner. If you want the link to any of the tools that we use, we have an Amazon storefront. It's amazon.com/shop/rawfoodromance. The link is in the description box below. You can find all the goodies in there, including these amazing squeeze bottles. They are so cool. They're really nice to have, and they fit nicely in our little cooler. So we have 2 coolers. This is our brand new cooler that we just got from Iceco. and it's a 75 liter. It fits so much stuff in it. Our old one died, and that one from Costco that we had, it died on us, so we had to get a new one, and we really, really love this new one. We have this little table that we use on top of our cooler to put all of our microgreens in. So here they are, all packed up and ready to go. Our cooler is full with all our goodies, and we are ready to go. We drove down first through Valley of Fire. We wanted to stay the night here because of our sushi class. We ended up leaving a little bit late for our camping trip. We were originally going to drive all the way to Bryce Canyon, but again, it was too late and we didn't want to be driving all night and set up super, super late. So we stopped in Valley of Fire, and there was hardly anyone there. Only about a few other camping spots were taken. So we found this delicious camping spot, and we popped up our tent for our very, very, very first night using our new tent. So here's Nate unlocking the tent, and it's so easy to put up. We have been thinking about getting a rooftop tent for quite a while, and Nate went with it, and here we go. It's so great to be able to just stop and set it up really quick instead of our older setup, which we still have, and we'll still use that if we are staying in one spot for like 4 or 5 nights. But if we are spot hopping or traveling around, this is so much easier to use. We also got this really nice, massive awning that hangs on the side of the truck. Now, this awning is really, really good for us, especially living here in the desert and doing so many camping and hiking trips out in the desert. We have ourselves some shade that we can create just with our little awning here. It also has some lights, so it lights up the campground quite nicely, and we can make our meals here on the tailgate with adequate lighting, which is really, really nice. So here's our cooler. Nate bought a slider so it slides in and out. And a couple other cool features for this cooler. First, you can actually set the temperature different for each side. One of the sides is a little smaller, but you could actually turn it into a freezer, and you could freeze ice cubes, have frozen fruit, or whatever you want in one side, and then you could have your fridge things in the other side. So as you can see, this is a really big cooler, and it fits a lot of food. We were so happy to have a whole bunch of sushi ready to go for our dinner. We had some amazing sauces. Again, the sauces were in the class that we did, adding that deliciousness and enjoying a little dinner before spending our first night in our tent. We have a ladder on the side to get up into our tent. It's really cool in there. We have a little light that we can have, and Nate actually got a new heater, so we can use this diesel heater. He set up this like tube and stuff to get in there, but it's nice and cozy, and we love it. Good morning, Valley of Fire. It was nice and warm. We had a wonderful sleep. I am loving this tent. It's really fun to sleep on top of the truck and feel safe away from scorpions and snakes and all of those little critters. The sun peeked up over the red rocks, and Nate started to put everything away because we are headed down to Bryce Canyon to meet up with our friends. For breakfast, we have melons. Melons are one of our absolute favorite things to take with us when we are camping or traveling. The reason being is that melons are really hardy and they don't need to be in the fridge. They last quite a long time. They're sturdy. You can just throw the melons in the back seat, and they are really, really great to have. We just scoop and enjoy a hydrating melon. It's also nice to have melons when you are camping, traveling, that kind of thing, because we want to make sure to keep our hydration levels up so we can stay healthy when we are traveling. One thing that normally we don't remember to do is to hydrate. So in general, we should all be having some hydrating meals first thing in the morning and get that hydration in. Here is our beautiful truck. And we didn't have the solar panels on the top yet, but since this video, Nate has put our solar panels on top, which charge the solar power generator, which feeds our cooler, and we can charge all the things. So here Nate has this cool little contraption set up, so when we pull the cooler out, the cords don't get all crammed in when you put the cooler back in. He was so excited about that. And as you see, we have another little cooler on top. It's a Vever cooler. You can get those on Amazon. It's a smaller one. We use that one typically for our dressings or anything that we have in jars that we like to bring. And then the big cooler usually stores our wraps, our vegetables, and any other things that we need to stuff in there and keep cold. So again, here is the back of the truck full of our stuff. If you want to learn a little bit more about how we camp, how we travel, how we plan, how we prep, how we pack, grab our Tales from the Tailgate ebook. This is a nearly 300-page ebook where we teach exactly how we do it. We also go over air travel and resort stays, how those are possible, how we pack for backpacking and hiking. There's over 100 recipes in that ebook of all the different kinds of things that we have made over the years as travelers, as raw vegans. And here are the microgreens, and Nate is super happy and excited that we have them, but they do need a drink. So that's something that we have to remember when we bring the microgreens with us. We have to remember to water them twice a day. And there was this little spigot at the camp spot, so we just used that to give them a little bit of a drink. We bottom water our microgreens, so we're not dousing the soil. We're just watering the bottom of the tray so that they have enough for the roots to go down and grab them for a little drink. Once we have them all watered, then we're going to put them back into the truck and get ready to go. We do talk about how we do this in the Tales from the Tailgate ebook as well. So there are stories in there, there are some fun details, and we hope that you grab that and enjoy all the fun stuff that's in there. There's also 2 brand new wrap recipes in that ebook, the hot harissa and the garden party zucchini wrap, which is an onion-free wrap. So if you've been looking for some onion-free ones, you can get that recipe in there. There's also 4 onion-free recipes in the hand salads ebook. All of the ebooks are available in the description box below. Again, head on down there and check them out. Once we got all packed up, we said goodbye to our awesome spot. We absolutely love Valley of Fire. It's such a great place to come in the summertime and in the wintertime. It's a wonderful place. It's so beautiful. So here we are driving out. We are headed up to Bryce Canyon, and we're going to spend another night in Zion, but that's coming later. We drove on down through the canyon and through Utah. We had a box of grapes as a snack. As you can see, they are eaten. Passing through Springdale, and we always choose to go through Zion. If we are going up north through Utah, there are a couple routes that we can take, but we always take the extra hour to go through Zion because it's absolutely breathtaking. And we always love to stop and have our lunch in the park because it's usually the halfway point between Las Vegas and Bryce Canyon. It's the perfect spot to stop for a little break, little stretch, and to enjoy going through that tunnel and the sights, of course. The tunnel's really cool because it's really long and it was built nearly 100 years ago. So here we go, heading into the tunnel. There are little pockets of windows along the way, but here we are on the other side of the tunnel. Again, absolutely beautiful. stunning and gorgeous. Every time we come through here, I'm always filming because I just can't help it. Once we find a nice little spot to stop, we pull out our cooler and we dig out our wraps. I usually like to number the wraps depending on which ones we want to eat first. If there was a little bit wetter ingredients in one, usually we'll eat those ones first and we save the really dry ones for the next day because that helps with the sogginess factor. But these are the ones we're having right now. Again, love this cooler. It's next level. We're so happy with it. Thank you, Ice Co, for making such an amazing cooler. We have leftover sushi sauces and we have some Divine Lime. So the Divine Lime recipe is from Meal Plan Volume 3, and we have this here is one of the wrap sauces. It's the sauce from the Honey I Love Mustard wrap in the Hand Salads ebook. And this is a little bit of Dragon Eye sauce that we have left over. That recipe you can find in Dips and Dressings. So here we are, ready to have our delicious lunch. Get some sauce on there. Always like to get a couple extra drizzles. And here we have it. Lunch is ready to serve. Here's Nate's. He's going with the Divine Lime as well. And here we go. We're just going to enjoy our wraps out here in nature. It's our absolute favorite meal. We like to have the wraps in nature. Nothing quite compares to that. On the road again, we are still headed to Bryce Canyon. It's such a beautiful road headed up over there, and we pass through Red Canyon as well. Tonight, we are not going to be staying in the park itself. We have a special spot that we want to go explore. This is the little store, Ruby's Inn. We saw this framed photograph and had to have it. So we bought it and put it up in our place because Bryce Canyon is by far probably our favorite national park that we've been to together. We drove out to a very special location. It's secret and undisclosed. But we found this while we were exploring, and because we have our 4x4 truck, we were able to get to this spot. There is a few fire pits, and so other people do come up here. It's a free off-grid, totally off-grid camping spot, and we need to have, our toilet and power and anything else that we need to make sure that we can survive out here. We have a lot of water and we have our microgreens. They came with us, of course. So here we're putting them on this little table. This is the table that we use once it's folded up. That goes on top of the cooler and they sit on the other side. Giving them a little bit of a drink. And getting ready for our camp spot. We want to have a salad tonight for dinner. So I pulled out all of the ingredients that I wanted to use for our salad and put them on this other table that we have. We like to chop on the tailgate usually, so this table kind of holds everything so that the tailgate doesn't get totally overcrowded. Here is our solar power generator. I just needed to plug something in to charge, and look at that beautiful moon. This is such a beautiful spot. We're definitely going to be coming back here quite a bit more often. We also needed to make wraps for the next day. So the next day, we are going to be meeting up with some friends and going on a hike. So we wanted to make sure that they had lunch as well. So we're going to be rolling up 3 different wraps. Each 14 by 14 wrap makes 2 meals because we fill them so full. They're quite filling. And there's going to be 5 of us tomorrow. So 3 wraps will make 6 meals. And we will leave that 6th one with our friend as a parting gift. So here we have all 3 of the wraps. We're just going to flip those over, and we'll start by putting some cashew cream cheese on the base. We like to use tree line cashew cream cheese if we are not making our own. We didn't have time to make our own, so we just got the tree line cheese. We like tree line because it's oil free, so that's one option that we like to get if we don't have a chance to make our own. Filling them with some lettuce. We also have here some radicchio. Radicchio is really, really good for the microbiome because it is from the chicory family. We have some orange bell peppers and some carrots that we're also adding. And of course, we cannot forget the red onions, and the one for Nate and I is going to be fully loaded. Nate chopped up some of the pea shoots that we had growing for our wraps. Here are some purple radish, and we also had some purple kohlrabi. So we put those in our wraps as well, loading them up to the max. That's what you want to always do. You can fill them as full as you possibly can. Fold up the sides and then fold up the base so it looks kind of like an envelope. And then once you get there, then you just start squeezing and rolling. And you can be a little firm with these, but you also want to be a little bit gentle too. You don't want to rip them, but they are quite strong, so you can roll those up. There's wrap number 1. And we have everything rolled now. They're so delicious. They smell amazing. And here we go. Nice little cut down the center. Those bell peppers, got to cut through those. And here we go. This is what our wraps for tomorrow are going to look like. Delicious. Can't wait to share these with our friends. So here we have our cooler. We have the top shelf completely free. And once we roll all of the wraps in the deli papers, we can just put those in our cooler like this. We don't want to seal them in a container because that's added possible extra moisture, and we don't want the wraps to be soggy. We want to impress our friends, so we're just leaving them open to the air and unsealed. Then we chopped up our salad, and we are going with some dressings that we have, some divine lime. Yes, get that divine lime on there. Mix it up. Add a little more dressing, because why not? And here we have our dinner salads ready to go in our beautiful camp spot. We can't forget to add microgreens also to our salads. We brought them, so we want to use them. We started a nice little campfire and had our dinner overlooking the beautiful nature, all nice and toasty cozy with our fire. Good morning. After spending another wonderful night sleeping on top of the truck, we woke up to this gorgeous, gorgeous sunrise out here near Bryce Canyon. We love being out here in nature, and we want to share a little bit with you. So take a moment and enjoy all the beauty around. And you guessed it, melons for breakfast again. We packed up really quick because the day before we decided we were all going to meet in Zion. We wanted to take the rim hike on the not so busy side of Zion, and then we were going to stop and have lunch there after we do that trail. We wanted something a little lighter to do, so that's what we chose. And coming out of our camping spot, it's again so beautiful. we are definitely coming back here. It's one of our favorite spots. And if you look closely, see that really super skinny tree? That's where we had our campfire. Our friends were staying at a nice little Airbnb, so we met up with them. Oh, my friend Ginger. So excited to see her and her new license plate. We drove up the Airbnb to meet up with her family. This was the first time meeting them in person, so that was quite an exciting time to see, and there were a few tears shed as well. It was so cool to finally meet her mom after so many years. And then we drove down to our spot and we found this beautiful little picnic table in the shade and enjoyed our hike together with lots of laughs and loves. After the hike, we were definitely ready for some lunch, so we pulled out the cooler and got out the wraps. We also decorated the picnic table with a little tablecloth, and we brought out the microgreens and the sauces. We had some grapes. One of our favorite things is making food for others, so let's hear what they have to say. Okay, yeah, open those wraps up.
Okay, we've got orange. And look it, we've got
Goodness, it's like a rainbow.
Cindy and Dawn, Ginger's mom.
Oh, these are beautiful.
First time, but now
Aren't
before you take a bite, we do have sauces. Right.
Yes,
if you
okay.
want to put a sauce
So
on.
this one here is like a tangy mustard vinaigrette style. This one here is a wasabi ginger.
Okay.
This one is a creamy garlic onion, kind of like a ranch. This one here, I know we made a lot of sauces. This one here is like a creamy, spicy dragon eye. Yeah, this is the dragon eye sauce. Yeah, this is the dragon eye sauce.
I saw that in the video.
And this is more of the garlic, so this is the same as this one. And this one here is divine lime.
Divine
So
lime?
you can have many bites
First
with
time
different
ever having
things.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay, so now drizzle it right on the top there.
Okay. I know you do such a good job. It looks so pretty. Whoop.
There you go. Yeah.
Just have fun with it.
All right.
Oh, I can't wait.
Cheers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You like it?
Sauce makes it, yep.
Sauce
The
makes
sauce.
it. Yeah, the sauce makes
I like
it.
the crunchy stuff.
Yes.
This is better than I even imagined.
Aww.
And it's pita bread.
It's beautiful.
It's made with.
Cindy called it pita bread.
Yeah, it's like, but that's
Not
good.
bread, but the wrap.
That's
It's
good.
bread.
That's so good that you said that though, because so many people ask what the texture's like.
Yeah.
And it is
It
like
is.
it's
It
like
is
a
like
dense
pita bread.
pita
It
bread.
is. Oh my goodness.
But it's made with fruits and vegetables, onion, sweet potato, apple, date,
Is that
and
right?
garlic.
Use
Yeah.
that lime sauce.
Oh yes, divine lime. Yeah, try that one. Divine lime.
Sauce with
The new
new
sauces.
bite.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know you
And I
can
mean,
try all
look at
different
the
kinds.
I know.
Right.
I didn't realize you have so many different colors in the wrap.
Yeah, and the wrap. It makes it fun with the
can't
stuff.
wait.
on
Oh
the
yes, look at you.
outside.
Yes.
Party bread.
Right. It is. Right.
Look it. Oh, it's so pretty.
Fiber.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, I didn't do it.
Did you like the
right.
divine
Yeah.
lime?
Paper around it.
Oh, man, what sauce are you going
You know, the
with?
ranch.
Oh yeah, the creamy ranch.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Excuse me. Yeah. Going for it.
Oh,
You're supposed to
man.
keep it like this.
So good. There's no right or wrong way.
Well, I
No
know.
right or wrong way. Get messy with it.
It's so pretty.
After our amazing lunch, we didn't really want to separate just yet, so we thought it would be great to go on another little hike. We chose the Zion Overlook. This one has been on my list to follow for a while, so I was really excited to be able to do this with my friends. And we parked, we got lucky, we got some parking spots, and started the Canyon Overlook Trail. This one is quite a popular trail as it's one of the first trails right outside of the tunnel, but it has some of the best views in the park, so it's definitely worth it. I took poles with me, and this trail is not for the faint of heart, so if you have some fear of heights, go slow. This will be a challenging one. Even though they do have rails up, there are some areas where it's a little bit more of a view down. After that beautiful hike, we said our goodbyes and drove down out of the park. We didn't want to camp in the park for this final night because it's really hard to get camping spots sometimes in Zion. So because we have our off-grid setup, we can basically camp anywhere outside of any of the parks. We have an app called The Dirt where you can find some free places to camp, and it's really nice to have. We stopped at this little grocery store in Springdale to collect any little extra things that we wanted, including these beautiful heirloom tomatoes. We found an epic spot to camp for the night on Dalton Wash Road. We drove way up to the top and found ourselves a perfect spot to set up camp for the night. Camping setup has been so much easier since we got our rooftop tent. This is our travel bin. We take this everywhere we go. It lives in the truck, even when we're in the city. It has bowls, knives, cutting boards, cups, cutlery, cutting tools, spatulas, spices, lemon reamers, you name it, it's in there. And we keep it with us because it's so helpful when we need to make food on the road. Here's our tent going up again. It's so beautiful and really cozy, actually. Nate is so excited about this tent. Once camp was set up, it was time to make some dinner. So we pulled out some cucumbers and some lettuce and set out all the other things that we want for our salads. Our cooler's getting a little empty because we've been eating all our food, but that's a good thing. Here are all the things that we're going to chop up for our salad tonight. We have some leftover cabbage and carrots that we put in the bowl. We have mango, romaine lettuce, a whole head of iceberg lettuce, a bunch of delicious tomatoes, red onion, radicchio, cucumber, and avocado. So we chopped up basically everything that we had left over in the cooler that we weren't going to be using for tomorrow because we're going to be making wraps. We got that mango on there and the avocado, and we're using the leftover wrap sauce. This was one of those ranch ones. It's basically just the cashew sour cream with some garlic and onion powder and some ranch herbs. We also added a little bit of the divine lime to the top of the salad as well and mixed it up. Portioned them out into our individual bowls. This was a really big salad, but we were hungry and we were excited to have some. And of course, we cannot forget to add our microgreens since we brought them with us. We like to chop them up a little bit finer too, if we can, and then we add them to our salad for a little extra boost of nutrition and beauty. Then we filled our water pump. It's kind of a water pump sprayer, and Nate charged it up, and we can use this to wash our dishes. It's a sprayer. It's really cool. We really like having this on hand so we can just spray and rinse our dishes. So it's very, very, very easy cleanup. Here are our salads. We had a little bit of the kimchi, so we put those on as well and enjoyed a little dinner together. It's morning again. I could definitely get used to waking up on top of the truck, watching the sunrise. It's becoming one of my absolute favorite things to do. We started the day with our mangoes. These are the Keat mangoes. They're a green mango, and they're usually only available during the months of September and October, sometimes into November, but not always. They are super juicy. These are my personal favorite mangoes that I've ever had, and we like to cut them so there's two big giant cheeks, and then we peel the skin and eat the flesh around the seed. We usually can have about 2 or 3 of these mangoes each. Again, they're super juicy, and they're so much better than some of the other ones that have a lot of strings in the flesh. These ones have almost no strings. They're very juicy and they're very smooth. We are excited for today because we are only about 2.5 hours away from Vegas, so we can stay all day out here and just enjoy eating good food, hanging out, working on some projects, and just enjoying the nature. So as you can see here, look how juicy these are. They're so good. It's definitely easy to eat a lot of these mangoes in one sitting. After breakfast, we spent a little time working and relaxing. Nate played with the drone a little bit, and then we had a snack before lunch of some of the kiwis that we brought that needed to be eaten. And then for lunch, we needed to roll up our wraps. So we rolled out the cooler and got all of the remaining ingredients that we saved for the wraps gathered so that we could chop them up and get them ready for the wraps. For the lettuce, I like to cut off the inside stem part. This really helps the wraps stay a little bit flatter and they don't kind of dig into the wrap. You can save these and chop them up and add them to a salad later on, But I really like to do this part because it makes the wrap so much more enjoyable without all those chunks of lettuce in there. Again, I like those chunks. I just don't necessarily like them in the wrap. I also chopped up some red onion, and we used a vegetable peeler to peel the carrots. We cut up some radicchio, and because we are eating these right away for lunch, I cut up one of those deliciously juicy heirloom tomatoes. We love adding tomatoes to the wraps, but only if we are eating the wraps right away because they are so hydrating that they can make the wraps soggy if you leave them for a few days. So here's the avocado. It looks perfect. Now, we didn't have any more of the cashew cheese because we used that with our friends. So we thought, another great option for spreading on the wrap is some avocado. So we got the avocado out and we just used that as a spread for our wrap. And then we added a little bit of sauce. Again, because we are eating these right away, we can get saucy with it. And we start with some of the lettuce. We're actually putting all of the lettuce on. This is approximately about just almost a head of lettuce. We have the carrot, the radicchio, the red onion, of course, we like a lot of that, and the tomatoes. Finishing them up with anything extra that we have, again, more microgreens, of course. Roll up the sides, pull up the bottom so it looks like an envelope, and then squeeze and roll, squeeze and roll. It's quite saucy, which is good. We cut them in half, and the big reveal, woo, these are going to be so good, and they were so good. There's something about some fresh raw tomatoes in a wrap that just is so delicious. So here they are, one for me and one for Nate. We have some leftover sauces that we're going to use. Everything lasted really well. We did really well with all the sauces that we brought. We had some extra when we got home, but it wasn't a lot. So we did really well with the planning there. We love our tent setup. We have our awning out, and check out this beautiful view that we have. Again, this is on top of Dalton Wash Road. I'm definitely going to be going back here again. Leftover sauce. This is the Divine Lime. Again, you can find this sauce in Meal Plan Volume 3. It's one of our absolute favorites. This is probably one of our top favorite wrap sauces of all time, next to the buffalo sauce, which you can get in the Burger Book. That's my top favorite wrap sauce right now. And then after the day was done and lunch was over, we packed up to head back home to Vegas. Thank you so much for joining us for this video. And hopefully this inspires you to take some raw food with you when you are traveling as well. If you want to get any of the recipes shown in this video, head on down to the description box below. We have links to all the goodies down there. So we will see you for another video soon. We love you, and fruit on.